Hi, and welcome to an RPM feature breakdown. Today we're going to be talking about agency assignments. Now, agency assignments is a nifty feature in RPM that allows you to assign different staff users to your agencies based off of like a process setting. It's actually more of a process feature than really a commission feature. But the usage of it is kind of you would be assigning different staff users to your agents based off of your different teams in RPM. So, for example, if you had a different team for quoting, if you had a different team that handles partner commission issues, you have a different team for handling partner orders, or things like that. This is where agency assignment really comes in handy. So, kind of the feature allows you to categorize different teams in your RPM, so different staff users, and then assign them to your agency, thus agency assignments. So yeah, let me just jump right into it, and it'll kind of make more sense as I create it and explain different parts of it right in my RPM demo here. All right, so first we're going to be finding the feature in the top left menu into our agencies page. In this case, it's sales partners because you can rename it. That is a separate video, and then we're going to be going into the top left more menu here into assignments. So first we have to create these categories to make use of the feature. So a common one would be things like I have a different team for quoting, I have a different team for orders, and then I might have a different team for like commission inquiries or trouble tickets, things like that. Yeah. So once you create these categories, we're really on our way to making use of the feature. We just hit the up arrow here, go back into one of my agency examples, and then we're going to be going into the bottom here where it says staff, and then we can assign our staff users. Now this box might be found all over the place on your agency page. It really just depends how things were rearranged over time. But just look out for the staff box, and then we'll click assign staff users, and then we can assign different team members based off of this agency and based off the processes that are used. So you can also do this in different ways. Like for example, if since it's by agency, you could be like, okay, normally orders would be assigned to this user. But in the cases of this, if this agency is in like the East Coast, I'd assign it to this other user, or things like that. So you can always switch your assignments and things like that based off of a whole bunch of different criterias. But for now, let's just assign the same member to all three. You can assign a different member. Okay, we'll just assign a different member for like quotes. It's just to keep things different. But yeah, so once you put the assignments here, you might be wondering how do I actually make use of the feature? That's actually found in the top left menu under setup here, and we'll actually go into our process. So let's just go into like orders for now, and then we'll go into the workflow tab, and then we'll go into the bottom here, form owner, and we'll hit edit. And then now we're looking for this box here that says started by sale partner user or started by agency user. And by default, it always just assigns it to RPM support, which is RPM support, and doesn't really go to any of your staff users. And you can kind of circumvent this with things like action triggers or things like that. But by default, the owner of all forms started by your agencies will just be RPM support, which can be problematic because the owner isn't anyone on your team. It's just a extra user that just sits there and absorbs all of the forms. So this is where you can go and choose the staff assignment or agency assignment. So you can do things like orders. So we're kind of looking to match the process name that of the category that we created with the process that we're setting this up for, right? So the name we give the category doesn't automatically tell RPM, hey, orders, or anything like that. So you have to actually come here and set it. So if you were to go in here and set it to like quotes, RPM wouldn't be like, hey, you set this up wrong. It's just misnamed, or you chose the wrong category, things like that. But yeah, so just make sure that when you're naming your categories that you make sure to use the one you want to actually use for the exact process. So once I hit OK here, and the form, a new order form is started by the agency, it will, instead of assigning it to RPM support, it's going to assign it to the staff that is tagged on the specific agency. So if I go back to the top left menu into sale partners, and I go into the sale partner here, so it's always going to be anytime RPM Telco example logs into their agent login and starts an order, they will assign it to the staff user, which is a bunch of letters. And yeah, so all of the forms created by the sale partner just for orders, because we only set it up for orders for now, we'll send it all to the staff user and they can manage it from there. Yeah, so we'll have to repeat those setup steps for like common queries for quotes, and if you continue to add categories for different processes, you'll have to kind of set them up and link it up just like I did for orders, but no need to have you watch me click through the same buttons to set it up for each process. But yeah, if you have any other questions, that's pretty much it for this feature highlight. If you have any other questions, please send us an email at support@rpmtelco.com. And yeah, hope you have a great rest of your day.